In this video, we'll be taking a look at 2 NFL games happening on January 7, 2024, and providing you with free team picks and total picks for each one of those games, so 4 picks in total. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released, so that you have more time to plan out your bets as we provide these videos on a daily basis. I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on these 2 NFL games after fully watching this video. One more thing before we start: if you would like to gain access to our best exclusive sports picks to take your journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below, where we offer our best single picks, parlay picks, and much more. Now let's get started. Denver Broncos versus Las Vegas Raiders. The upcoming Week 18 clash in the American Football Conference West will witness the Denver Broncos squaring off against the Las Vegas Raiders inside Allegiant Stadium on a Sunday afternoon. Both teams find themselves out of playoff contention, rendering this game significant mainly in terms of draft position. Presently, the Broncos occupy the second spot in the division with an 8-8 record, following a recent 16-9 victory at home against the Los Angeles Chargers. In contrast, the Raiders, sitting at third in the American Football Conference West with a 7-9 record, come into this game after a 23-20 road loss to the Indianapolis Colts. It's worth noting that these teams previously faced each other in Week 1, where the Raiders secured a narrow 17-16 road victory. As the Broncos bid farewell to playoff hopes, speculation surrounds the team's potential shift in direction after the current season. Despite a somewhat lackluster performance in their last game against the Chargers, where the Broncos secured a win with a modest 16 points, the defense impressively held the opposition to just 9 points. Quarterback Jarrett Stidham completed 20 of 32 passes for 224 yards and 1 touchdown. The Broncos' offensive average stands at 21 points, while their defense concedes an average of 24 points per game. Despite wide receiver Courtland Sutton dealing with a concussion, indications suggest his participation in the upcoming game. On the other side, the Raiders suffered a setback in their previous outing against the Indianapolis Colts, succumbing to a 23-20 defeat. Quarterback Aiden O'Connell completed 30 of 47 passes for 299 yards and 4 touchdowns, while running back Zamir White rushed 20 times for 71 yards. The Raiders' offensive output averages 19 points, with their defense allowing an average of 20 points per game. Notably, key players like running back Josh Jacobs and defensive lineman Max Crosby are questionable for the upcoming game, posing potential challenges for the Raiders. While this game might not generate overwhelming excitement for viewers, being an NFL matchup ensures a certain level of drama even when involving teams with less than stellar performances. A case in point is the Denver Broncos, led by head coach Sean Payton, who has been a constant presence in the media spotlight throughout the season. Despite criticisms for his style and bravado, Payton's strategies have yielded positive results, with the Broncos' defense notably improving halfway through the season. The offense, despite some struggles, displayed improvement. The recent benching of Russell Wilson did not deter the team from achieving a significant win in their last game. Although the Broncos' playoff hopes have been dashed, Payton's efforts have injected excitement among the Denver faithful. Shifting the focus to the Raiders, last week's defeat to the Indianapolis Colts marked a significant setback in their playoff aspirations. Interim coach Antonio Pierce has led the team with a noticeable increase in grit and toughness, particularly evident in their defense, which ranks among the best in the league. Despite offensive challenges, the Raiders have shown resilience under Pierce's leadership. As they return home for their final exhibition, there is a motivational factor at play, seeking to erase the interim tag associated with Pierce's coaching status. As the Broncos gear up for the upcoming game, Jarrett Stidham is set to start at quarterback. In their previous outing, the Broncos' offense faced struggles, and Las Vegas' formidable defense poses a significant challenge. The Raiders, with a struggling offense this season, have relied on their defense to stay competitive. The availability of key players like Josh Jacobs and Max Crosby remains uncertain, potentially impacting the Raiders' performance. On the offensive front, Denver's passing defense has been a vulnerability, offering opportunities for receivers Davante Adams and Jacoby Meyers to make impactful plays. Statistically, Las Vegas Vegas has been more successful against the spread this season, especially as a home favorite. In assessing the overall competitiveness of the game, the Broncos, with nothing left to play for, may lack motivation. Meanwhile, the Raiders, under the leadership of coach Antonio Pierce, aim to improve their record with a home victory. Examining recent defensive performances, the Broncos have allowed an average of 26 points in their last 3 games, contrasting with the Raiders' defense, which has given up an average of 15 points in their last 4 games. The season-long against the spread records also favor the Raiders. As such, our full game side pick leans toward the Las Vegas Raiders winning and covering the spread as favorites in this one. Considering both teams' defensive vulnerabilities, expectations are for a game with a fair amount of scoring. While the matchup of Jarrett Stidham versus Aiden O'Connell may not appear as an offensive powerhouse on paper, both teams are anticipated to contribute to the scoreboard. Recent offensive performances highlight the Broncos averaging 20 points in their previous 4 games and the Raiders scoring an impressive 34 points in their last 3 games. Over the projected total is our full game total pick. Buffalo Bills versus Miami Dolphins. The Buffalo Bills, with a season record of 10-6 and standing at second place in the American Football Conference East, are set to embark on a journey to Florida for a face-off against the Miami Dolphins, who hold an impressive 11-5 record, securing the top spot in the American Football Conference East. This highly anticipated clash is scheduled to take place at the renowned Hard Rock Stadium on Sunday. The Bills enter the game fueled by the ambition to extend their winning streak to 5 games, while the Dolphins aim to bounce back from a resounding defeat at the hands of the Baltimore Ravens. In their previous encounters, the Bills have emerged victorious in 2 consecutive matchups, including a commanding 48-20 win at home earlier in the season. In their recent triumph over the New England Patriots, a team positioned at 4-12 and occupying the 4th spot in the American Football Conference East, the Bills showcased their defensive prowess. Rasul Douglas, acquired at the trade deadline, played a pivotal role by intercepting 2 passes, one of which he returned for a touchdown, securing a 27-21 victory. Buffalo's defense, with a total of 3 interceptions and a fumble recovery, proved instrumental in sealing the win. Quarterback Josh Allen contributed to the early lead with a 1-yard touchdown run in the first quarter, eventually finishing the game with 2 touchdown runs. However, Allen's passing yardage remained modest at 169, coupled with an interception. A win against the Dolphins this Sunday holds significant implications for the Bills, as it could secure them the coveted American Football Conference East title and the 2nd seed in the American Football Conference. Despite their current impressive standing, a playoff spot is not guaranteed, and a loss to Miami, combined with specific outcomes in other games, could spell the end of Buffalo's season. The delicate balance of playoff contention hangs in the balance, and the Bills must navigate through a complex scenario to ensure their postseason aspirations remain alive. Miami's 2-game winning streak came to an abrupt halt with a decisive defeat against the Baltimore Ravens, where they succumbed to a staggering 56-19 loss on the road. The Dolphins' defense struggled, conceding 8 touchdowns, including 5 through the air to Lamar Jackson. Quarterback Tua Tagovailoa posted 237 yards and 2 touchdowns, but 2 critical interceptions and 3 sacks marred his performance. Despite the setback, running back Devon Achane emerged as the leading rusher with 107 yards. The loss to the Ravens places the Dolphins at risk of sliding from the 2nd seed to the 6th seed in the American Football Conference should they fail to overcome the Bills. Victory, on the other hand, would secure them the American Football Conference East Division title and the privilege of facing their first playoff opponent in front of a home crowd. A defeat this week would force the Dolphins to travel to Kansas City for a challenging matchup against the Chiefs. The injury concerns for Miami are substantial, with a lengthy list of players labeled as questionable and notable absences on defense, namely Chubb and Howard. Considering their importance, it might be prudent to provide additional rest for players like Waddle and Mostert ahead of the playoffs. Despite being considered the 2nd-best team in the American Football Conference when at full strength, the current focus is on the challenges posed by the upcoming game. The absence of Chubb and Howard could potentially provide Buffalo's quarterback, Josh Allen, with more time to execute passes, particularly targeting Eli Apple. The Bills, riding a 3-game winning streak and dominating 10 of the last 11 matchups against the Dolphins, enter the contest with a strong outlook. so the Buffalo Bills to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. Examining the impending clash between the Bills and the Dolphins on Sunday night, it's tempting to predict a high-scoring shootout. Both teams boast explosive quarterbacks, dynamic number one wide receivers, and defensive vulnerabilities due to injuries. While these facts are evident, the reality of a total set as high as this one suggests that everything must align perfectly for it to surpass expectations. Drawing a parallel to the recent game between Detroit and Dallas, where both teams amassed over 400 yards of offense in the first half, unforeseen factors like turnovers and struggles in the red zone prevented the game from reaching its expected total. The inherent unpredictability of factors such as sacks and red zone turnovers makes it challenging to confidently support an over-the-total prediction. Therefore, our full game total pick leans towards the under, considering the potential pitfalls associated with a total set in the high 40s and low 50s. That's all for now, so if you have any other games you would like reviewed, then leave a comment down below with the game you would like analyzed. Subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.